more light though, right?
That's all we need, yeah.
Let me grab a lamp. We got some of these lamps here that work.
Well, we can just pick it up unless you think it's too heavy. What do you think that front grill is out of?
What's that?
What do you think that front grill is made from?
Pie pans.
Oh, I'll be dang, you're right. It is.
They're metal pie pans, cut and turned in half and turned upside down.
Silver toe. Good, Rich.
And the inside.
I just couldn't see anything at all on the back end of it. I wonder who made the motor. So, Northeast Electric, Model G, 12 volt. Gosh, this thing is big for 12 volt.
Yeah, see, back in those days they were.
Type 3566.
But it's 12 volt, and they used what they used was two DC, or two 6-cylinder, or two 6-volt batteries in it.
And so they must have had a pulley.
Well, see, they had
belt
two
went
different.
right to the wheel.
See, you had a pulley here,
So high speed and low speed.
and then it was a high speed, low speed, so that if, you know, they tilted their cameras how they did, you know, made it look like it was coming downhill, so they could adjust the speed on it that way.
So and there would have been like a trunk on the back of it, right?
Well, I have an idea. It was probably a half of a wash tub, the old circular wash tubs, but I haven't found one to cut to put on there.
Whatever this was orange. I'm just trying to figure out in case somebody's, you know, repainted it since then.
Well,
I'm sure it
see,
would be neat to find.
it looks like it might have been maroon at one time. See here, the firewall's painted maroon,
Mm-hmm.
and this was wainscoting. So that's the old wainscoting, and the rest of it was done with wood metal covering wood strips like they build an airplane.
So they go down through the floor there. The cables do, and it's just.
It steers like a boat with pulleys.
Huh.
See, there's a pulley here. See where they go down over?
Mm-hmm.
There's a roller pulley there, and then your pulleys here, and then out to your.
So you were told that there were 3 of these that had been built for the Little Rascals.
Yeah, but I don't know whether they were all the same design, because some of them I've seen on the Little Rascals were different designs. They had like a truck, one. And I don't know whether they built 3 of them the same way, or whether they were, you know, whether they used them 3 different, for filming, they used 3 of the same kind, or what.
Well, hopefully somebody will be able to say it's that one this episode. And where did you got it back
I bought
east,
it
right?
back in Indiana, and that guy had gone to a prop auction in Philadelphia, is the story I got. That he went to a auction where they were selling props from movies and stuff. And he brought it home, and their kids played with it for years, drove it around the farm. But their kids are older than I am. Kids that where they brought it home to were in their 60s.
What do you think that? Do you think that top nose piece is a hubcap?
Nope, that's a half a headlight. 1920s style headlight, you know, with the bucket and so forth. And they cut the bucket in half. This is the rim here where they latched over, and then this is the bottom where they cut it, was down here. And then these were undoubtedly 1920s. They probably had 1920s cow lights for headlights for it.
Mm-hmm.
That went up on the cowling. Because they were chrome pods with a lens in them.
Just sort of a fake thing for the.
Well, different. I don't know which one they might have used on this car, but they were very
Yes, it is.
available at the time.
It has a hole, so they might have been wired.
Oh, I wouldn't be, see, usually what they did was on those cars, they wired right up through the pipe that held them.
So, what does this say?
And those 4 tires are all the same size.
Except for this oddball.
No, that's the size if they were inflated.
Oh, okay.
But in other words, they're so old and they were made out of real rubber that they shrunk up.
And collapsed down.
Yep.
Fascinating. No, I thought it had one oddball tire, but it just has one tire holds
that's what I
air.
thought too until I started checking sizes. And that's the reason why that pulley's so big. That tire would have inflated to this size. And so it would have all been hidden behind, most of that would have been hidden behind the tire. No, I thought this was an oddball too until I started checking the sizes on them.
Well,
Those tires have sat deflated for years, and this one here never has.
I hope somebody can identify it. I know that molder is more than old enough to fit the storyline.
Oh.
The tires are old enough to fit the storyline.
Well, and see, it's wainscoted.
That's
the storyline.
There's nothing on here that was made before 1950.
And like I said, this was very common back in those years to be able to find one of those. And
maybe we can date the motor. So they must have had a pair of 6 volts that they went in series to get 12 out of it?
Yeah, you can see here with the, see here? In other words, they had this cord here and this one here, and the batteries would have set in here like this, and then they would have run series to them. And see, apparently they had a rheostat. Well, here's the connector cable to connect the 2 batteries to series. And then I assume that they had a rheostat for a switch, for a throttle.
That would make sense. You can see what's left of it mounted down on the firewall. Down there. What is this right here? Oh.
Well, that's part of the one pulley on this side. That's where that pulley broke apart.
Oh, okay. So it was the spoke pulley over there, huh?
But,
oh, there's the hub for it right in there. Cool. Well, sure would be neat to know which Little Rascals this was in. I'd love to see it in its prime.
oh yeah.
Heck of a story as to how it got to Montana, huh?
But like I said, I have an idea that was probably half of an old wash tub
That went on the back?
that went on the back. Now,
And
see, some of them they had shaped like like bushel baskets. They were made out of galvanized, but the first ones were shaped like bushel baskets.
Because they'd want to hide the motor
Oh yeah.
when they're shooting.
Well, not only that, but see, the stuff they used was common to what kids could get a hold of to build it out of. So that's the reason why I figure that was probably a wash tub on the back, because of the shape of it, and it would have covered the motor.